Good afternoon on what is a cool, grey and cloudy day. It is Tuesday the 18th of June and I'm in the reading up with a nice hot cup of tea. And a parcel to unbox. This has come from Kickstove, so I've got a pretty good idea what it is. And inside you can't quite see, so I'm going to have to slide it out. Oh, and there we go. What I have here is a copy of the Lunar Way. I'm just going to take the plastic off so I can read the back cover a little bit easily. But this is one of the fundamental books, core books to the Cults of RuneQuest series, published by Chaosium for the Glorantha setting. This details the faiths and cults religions of the Lunar Empire, the main enemy, the main threat in the setting of Glorantha, from the point of view of the Sartorites, the Orlanth, basically the Orlanthi, and the air worshippers, and also the earth worshippers. There's a bit of crossover, but that's essentially how the primary sort of like conflict has been set up in the setting. Now we've already had books devoted to the Lightbringers, the air worshippers, Orlanth and his family of gods, and also the earth family, primarily led by Enelda. This details the lunar faiths and cults. So, I believe in the Red Goddess, mystery of life and death. Cults of RuneQuest, the Lunar Way is the player's guide to the deities of the Red Moon. Each cult dives deeper into the mysterious and misunderstood lunar gods and provides the mechanics for each of their cults to create your RuneQuest adventure. So, 15 brand new cults, including Jackhill the Witch, the goddess of youth, Tilo Nori, the Chaos Demon known as the Crimson Bat, and the Red Goddess herself, all playable for the first time. An expanded treatment of the Cult of the Seven Mothers, rules to create brand new RuneQuest adventurers belonging to these cults, detailing with skills, passions, spirit magic, and rune magic each cult offers. Details of the unique organization, history, and nature of each cult. A unique and new lunar magic system, plus expanded rules for lunar sorcery, the unique way lunar rune spells are affected by the phases of the Red Moon, rules for how your adventure can grow into a god talker, rune priestess, or even a mighty rune lord, the history of the lunar gods, the Lunar Empire, the Red Emperor. Red Empire is an entirely different thing. It's a very, very good board game. And details for adventuring on the surface of the Red Moon itself. This supplement can be used for the RuneQuest core rules or combined with other Cults of RuneQuest books to create a RuneQuest adventure belonging to multiple cults. Now, one of the issues perhaps with RuneQuest and RuneQuest Roleplaying and Glorantha is that it sort of didn't have this information freely available. So it was kind of difficult to create NPCs who were members of the Lunar Empire and its client states. You had some options. Basically, you could worship the Seven Mothers, which was the kind of standard national default faith, which the Empire would proselytize as it conquered and went around conquering different territories, including much of Sartar. So you had that option, but you didn't know really very much about the other gods and cults worshipped by the Lunar. Not enough to basically create characters for them or NPCs with any great ease. Not saying it wasn't impossible, I was saying it was challenging. So there's the credits page, and then we are on to, well, there's the proper credits page, and then we're on to the contents page, and we have more of the fantastic artwork. One of the great things about the Cults of Glorantha series has been the artwork. And because the other thing, what it's actually doing with this Cults of RuneQuest series is actually basically laying the groundwork for the background to a lot of information to come in terms of setting material and campaign material. So we leap straight into a description of what in this book, how it's organised, and how it's used for both players and game masters, and some of the basics of the prehistoric moons, celestial mythology, and the red moon themes, mythos, and art involved there. So just giving you a good introduction to what's in the book, and then we are straight into the cults themselves with, basically an overview of the Lunar Way, where the world came from, where did I come from, why do we die, what happens after we die, and so on, and who the other gods are. And a map of essentially of the effective areas in which the lunar gods are worshipped and the lunar gods' influence. Sorry, the lunar empire's influence. And then we have an overview of the lunar pantheon, thumbnail descriptions as to who these various gods, goddesses, demons, and so on are. Details of the lunar New Year ceremony, and we have a great description. So essentially, what we have on page 4 is this depicts the lunar gods. It's a fantastic piece of artwork, but if you don't know who they are, you don't know who they are. So this handy notation tells you, and then we've got the genealogy of the lunar deities and how they're all related. Some of them are related to actual gods outside of the pantheon. So that includes Yelm, and so on, and Ethres and her father Isaris. Isaris is one of the light bringers. And then we've got discussion of the lunar empire. Now, to be fair, much of this information is not necessarily new. It's been here it's rewritten from previous sources because it's been detailed in other supplements, in previous iterations of role-playing content. But here it's actually made very, I think, a slimmer volume, accessible, bright, full colour, gives you a good introduction to the Lunar Empire. And then we have the importance of the Red Moon, including basically maps of its faces, because essentially the Red Moon is accessible if you know how. It's actually very close to the lozenge shape of Glorantha, hangs over the city of Glamour. I believe, I could be wrong there. I'm sure I'll be corrected. But anyway, we're discussing ancient moon religion. And then we are actually onto the, having got the groundwork, the introduction out of the way to lunar culture, lunar history, lunar outlook, we're into the first of the 15 cults and so on in the book, starting with the 7 mothers. And each section is basically given good illustration, mythos and history, nature of the cult and how it's organised, lay membership and initiate membership. Your average player character is going to be initiate membership, basically working towards being either a rune priest or a rune lord. And here you have details of how to attain those positions and what the benefits are. Just as earlier, you would have got the same details of being an initiate, because there are benefits to being a member of a cult. You'll get particular training, typically at a reduced cost, access to certain spells and so on. And then we have details of subservient cults and subservient cults to individual mothers, connections to other lunar cults, and then miscellaneous notes at the end. And then this includes lunar chaos and enemies, moon and air, the temple of the witching moon, and we've got details there of the lunar glow line, which is essentially the lunar empire literally magically spreading its influence, and thus the reach of the red moon. because one of the things that happens under the glow line, once that glow line is extended, practitioners of lunar magic actually can practice their magic much easier. So then we move on to one of the most feared creatures in all of Glorantha, the crimson bat. Essentially, basically a great flying chaos creature, worshipped as a god, and there's actual sort of temple on it. It's got its own rune spells, there's a complete campaign sort of based around its influence basically the Seven Lights campaign, which is really very good. And then we move on to the different various cults. And this is really reaching sort of like the limits, I have to be honest, of my particular knowledge about the Lunar Way. In some ways, this will be my introduction to their details. There are, members of there are Glorantha files who know absolutely much more. The one cult I do know a little bit about is Etheres, which is the messenger of the Red Goddess. Also the cult of trade in the Lunar Empire, and because of her connection with Isseres, which is a cult I've had characters belong to in the past. And that's a little bit of a different piece of artwork in there, a little bit of a change from the other pieces. But there are certain, this really does open up a lot of role-playing possibilities. Supports the game master a lot with the means to create interesting NPCs, begin to bring sort of like those characters to life, and it's sort of like mechanically and culturally as well. And again, the artwork is fantastic. There's actually, I think, there's probably a little bit less artwork, it feels like, than in the other Cults of RuneQuest books. But don't take that as a criticism. That the artwork is still very good. We actually have the Red Emperor himself. He was the monsoon ruler of the empire. Including essentially, all of the Red Emperors there represented by coins. The coins minted during their period, their reigns. We've got the actual Red Goddess herself. We've got essentially positions or histories of the Red Goddess. Essentially her ascent to deification. And it's possible to have inflict chaos feature, but basically one of the rune spells is chaos features. And then essentially you have, and these are temporary, I'm presuming, because it's just you've got a big table of chaos features and sort of like effects of things like Curses Dead. And it's actually the sort of like the embracing of chaos as part of reality, which is one of the fundamental differences between the lunar gods and the worshippers and everyone else. So yeah, this is, as I say, a slimmer book, but nicely, clearly, simply presented. You know, if you're an initiate, you've got a simple box just listing all of the skills and benefits you have access to as a member of that cult. I mean, if you are a Glorantha fan, you're going to want this book anyway, and it's going to look really great on the shelf alongside the others. So yeah, that is Cults of RuneQuest, The Lunar Way, published by Chaosium for use with RuneQuest role-playing in Glorantha. That's a fantastic looking book. That's going to be really interesting to read. I'm looking forward to giving that a proper review. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below, and if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be able to get more unboxings of the Nook, where you will see me out here with a package containing a book or game, in this case a supplement for RuneQuest role-playing in Glorantha, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.